Shout out my boy CMac, BKLYN. Let's go, let's go. This is how we do it, kicking it with Charlie Mac. His bulldog Vicky, only thing he love more than his stack. It may be the Brooklyn way, but he spread it worldwide. This army boy from NYC got hella Irish pride. Catch him on YouTube doing precious metal reviews. Oh, we the silver degenerate performing an interview. You know we could take a walk up to the Brooklyn Bridge and back. Yeah, this is how we do it, kicking it with Charlie Mac. Yeah, this is how we do it, kicking it with Charlie Mac. We could hit the corner store just to grab ourselves a snack. You know that there's nothing better than just hanging with a friend, especially when you do it in BKLYN. And he your first responder, C-Mac's here to say the day. Don't forget to spread that love, cause it's the Brooklyn way. It ain't just a slogan, homie, that right there's a fact. Cause this is how we do it, kicking it with Charlie Mac.
Yo, what is up, party people? This is probably the fastest we've ever logged in. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. The purpose of the channel obviously is to talk about precious metals, the people in the community, what people are stacking, like the silver card. Everybody should have some kind of silver in their stack. And I'm your host, Charlie Mac, NYC BKLYN, and today got a really fun guest, folks. Wanted to wing it, no pressure, got in like 20 seconds before the start time. What's up,
It was stressful. Hey, how you doing?
Under the gun, I'm doing good. I'm a person who likes to prepare and have a game plan and lesson plan and, just train and get ready for everything. And looks like you like to fly by the seat of your pants.
I don't, but I'm so busy. And like last night, I am a bartender one day a week at a nightclub. I got off at 5 a.m. and it's just been one hell of a week, let me tell you. But that's what graphic design is. So
Awesome.
You're loaded with work. But hey, we're here. We made it. And we'll just run with it, right?
That's it, and that's one of the cool things about this channel. Like, there's no pressure. I enjoy having people on, especially you. You do a lot of cool stuff, and we're kind of like in the same spaces in some areas. So, I'm from Brooklyn, New York, but tell the people a little bit about you, where you're from, what you're into, what you're doing. Let the people know about you.
Well, I mean, I started, I guess we're not on that yet, but I was a bartender. I was supposed to go to law school. So I have a bachelor's degree in political science. And I decided after I graduated, that's not what I wanted to do anymore. So, and it's solely because, I'm already in so much debt with my bachelor's degree. And not only that, it's working your way up in a system that is flawed, in my opinion, anyways. And because my ultimate goal, I wanted to be a judge. And that you have to 10 years or, as a prosecutor making literally nothing. And it's, in my opinion, a flawed system in a way. Now, of course, not in every way, but in a way there is some flaws when it comes to the position I wanted to be in. So it's weird how I got into this industry. That started with my ex, and we did it when COVID hit. So COVID hit, and we started in the silver industry it was his hobby, and I started in the mailroom is what he used to say. And I would just like package stuff, but political science ties in with a lot of our industry. It's all history, and that was my favorite part about the major. I changed my major like 8 times. Can't even tell you how many times I changed my major because
what else did you want to major in? Yeah, what else did you want to major in? What else did you want to major in?
I started in philosophy, being an idiot, because I was like, that's one of the best degrees for law school, and I want to be one of the best students. Hated it. It was like, theories, and I'm very like literal and practical person. I don't understand, I don't understand that kind of theory, and you can't, the words, you can't really like interpret what the heck they are unless it's exactly what it says. That's how I am. I'm like, structured. So that was terrible. And then social stuff, all of these different things that just didn't catch. What caught my eye though, and what I really loved was political science, because it was history. It was about the world. It was about our government. It was about just a lot of things. So my favorite thing was, of course, the Supreme Court. My senior year, I studied the Supreme Court and the cases and everything like that. And then, of course, international world government was my favorite too. So
I did not know that about you because
Yeah.
if I would have known that, I would have had some other questions lined up. So when I went in, I kind of locked in. I knew exactly what I wanted to do when I got out of the military. I hated school, cut school
Okay.
all the time, dropped out of high school, cut class. I barely went. Straight to the military. All I do now is teach. So part of my job, I'm teaching, teaching, teaching. I'm in school all the time, but criminal justice degree,
Oh,
security management degree. Went
I
to the law
studied criminal
enforcement side.
justice too. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's always funny when I hear people, I want to do this and I want to do that. I want to do this. Like, damn, just stick with something and go.
Let me tell you, yeah. I told me the entire story. Like, hi, Lucas. Yeah, I didn't know that you could literally major in whatever you wanted. For law school, I was like mainly just trying to have the degrees that are the top accepted degrees. And then I realized, no, what the heck are you doing? Like to pass anything to get be straight A student, oh my god. So that's when I found political science, and then I was a straight A student. I graduated at the top of my class, but then I didn't go to law school. And somehow, because of having to grind for money to pay my bills, I started the bar industry, and I've been a bartender and a corporate trainer for 10 years now. So
Corporate training.
that's another thing I do.
I'm always hiring. I have a bunch of nationwide accounts, so maybe we'll do some
Yeah.
business together.
Oh, maybe one day. Hey, I'm down.
Literally, I'm not kidding you. I always need trainers for security programs, fire safety programs, CPR, AED, first aid training, self-defense,
Really?
customer service. Yeah.
You know, we have so many people in our industry. Like, Logan is one of them. He's a volunteer firefighter. So we have so many people in our industry that you could all reach out to as well for that kind of stuff.
So it started off as a chat. Now it's like a job interview. We're gonna start making some money here. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely, right?
So when talking about precious metals, 4th of
Yes.
July is coming up. I'm breaking out the red, white, and blue. Love these MS-70 Eagles. But
Yeah.
how did you get started? Would you consider yourself a collector or stacker or flipper?
Collector, definitely a collector. I would say collector solely because what started it was obviously it was a hobby of my ex's. I was with him for 7 years, so when I was wondering, I was working 6-7 days a week, and I'm wondering what the hell he's doing on his phone all the time. And, because that's a large part of our industry, especially nowadays with social media, it is everything. So that's when I started to get into, obviously he would show me the coins and this and that. And then I was obsessed with the background and history of coins. And so vintage is huge for me. And that is where I started. I'm originally from the Facebook industry side, and I joined Instagram like a year or 2 years later, because I was actually quite surprised that there was a whole other world on Instagram that had nothing to do with Facebook, even though they're owned by each other. That was quite funny. But that's where I started. We built our own group after being admins of another person's group. They started implementing rules and charging sellers a percentage, and we didn't agree with it, so we built our own. And then that's where I became, I guess, a self-taught graphic designer. I wanted to be the best show on Facebook. So being a girl in the industry was one of the only ones that I knew of. And that can be hard, it can be challenging. But I used to never even come on camera, ever. I refused to go on camera. I would just literally do tech in the background, like Restream and just putting up graphics on screen and doing it that way for him. And he was the only one on camera. And then slowly but surely, I started to get on camera, and I built a show that everything's on screen, the coins on screen, graphics on screen, all the information's on the screen, and that's how I run it. And also, I thought was really important was entertainment in this industry with live shows. Entertainment's huge, and that's kind of where we set ourselves apart. Was having two people in the same room was huge and key, because I don't have it now. One day I hope I can recreate it, because I don't have a boyfriend that's in that and interested in this industry anymore, but he's great. But to me, that is what was key to us and our success, was the entertainment, and then showing that we were raw human beings. Because we didn't really filter anything. Like if we fought, we didn't obviously duke it out on camera, but we showed them that we are human, just like they are, and we had feelings and emotions, and it happens.
You brought the real stories, the real emotions, and
Oh yeah.
one of the videos that I'll actually show right now, which you did a really good job, is like where it all began.
Yeah,
Which was
no,
really, really
that
cool.
is the intro to our show every time we went on. So
I'm gonna show that for the people. This was really cool. I had a quick glimpse at it. Like I said, the last 2 minutes I was just gunning, running, rushing
you,
the
I appreciate
bulldog back.
No, I
So
get it.
let's show the people this one. This is great. Awesome stuff. So
Thank
cool.
you. Yeah. So the U.S. theme behind it is my brother's in the military. I haven't seen my brother in 4 years. He's in Germany, and he is actually on his way home soon. So
Awesome.
I'm extremely excited. I have a niece that I've never met. She's almost a year old, and he has finally been stationed in the United States. I think in Washington. So super excited. It's not far.
What branch of service?
He's in the Army. So he's a drone tech. So he also is a huge gamer. That's how I got a gaming computer for graphics and stuff. He helped me with that. And he built Minecraft servers. So very smart kid.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
So, I thought that intro was great. What does something like that typically take you to build and create?
Like time-wise?
Time-wise.
Time-wise, well, it depends. In the beginning, obviously, it took me time. I'm self-taught. YouTube is my best friend. I literally taught myself everything I know on YouTube and just classes or other, Envato Elements is a good one. There's another one that I just, I'm a huge researcher. That's a big part of political sciences research, and I love to read, and I'm a nerd. So nowadays that video would take me probably 30 minutes, I would say.
Okay, that's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
I literally am the same way. I'm learning a lot of craft from YouTube. I'm just, doing it as I go.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of money to be made, but a lot of fun to be had with them as well.
Oh yeah. If you guys see, I'm like looking at you, but then I realize my camera's down here, so I'm like, oh my god, camera. Because
camera right here.
This is not a Mac anymore, so I had to hook up cameras and whatnot. But sorry, where were we at?
So it kind of ties into the next question. For someone who is new, what are some things they should prepare for? What are some things that they should know? What kind of knowledge are you dropping today, Sadie?
Knowledge am I dropping today? Well, I haven't been in the industry that long, so there's a difference between if you want to be a stacker and if you want to be a collector. Stacking is solely like you trying to get the best bang for your buck, and stacking like weight and the premiums that come with coins is more on the side of like building collections and things like that. So to me, I see the value in numismatics more than stacking, but then again, now that I'm in it this long, there is a side to stacking. So you see a lot of, especially now and then the generations coming up, you see a lot of that mixing. So you have stackers and collectors, which is kind of, I guess, what you can call me, but I'm more of a collector. So what I would say that, when you're starting out, is understanding the way buying and selling silver works, because the margins are really slim. A lot of people don't understand that. And when you're running a business, if you ever have the idea of becoming a coin dealer, and you talk to those guys, they'll tell you, and this is what they say. Now, everybody has their own opinions and may disagree, but they are like, it took me 7-10 years to become profitable. Now, as time goes on and younger people have gotten into this industry, things have changed. But we're talking mainly like storefront dealers that I've talked to. And so that is one thing that you have to take into consideration when you're buying products, is what I would say. We had a lot of things that we would buy and the market would crash. And you have to make the decision of, okay, you have to hold that stuff, or you're never going to profit off of it if you're intending to profit off of it. there's a difference if you're trying to just collect or stack and hang on to it. Like right now, it's interesting. I don't know if you heard about it. I haven't done the research. I have no idea. But my boyfriend's dad was like, "Did you hear about the Russian gold?" And I'm like, "No." And he was like, everybody's like anti-Russia right now with everything going on. And so they're like, "We're not buying any more Russian gold." Well, he thinks he has a prediction that it's going to go down and then it's going to skyrocket. Now, I don't know. I wanted to talk with, Tommy or Steven and people like that are more knowledgeable in the market. The market is one thing I need to learn more about when it comes to like stocks and investment, all of that. But he was talking about that. So you take into consideration those things. Another thing that we learned a lot being new was products that are like altered, like the ASCs that have like the art or that have the finishes on them that people would buy and then like do themselves. Like a lot of coin shops won't, they don't value that as valuable that you may have paid for it. And we ran into a lot of situations with that. Not that we ever sold on coin shops and whatever, but when it comes to like people that want to buy it from you and whether they value it or not, that's a huge part of it. So, of course, with numismatics, same thing. So a lot of the times we were into, and I still, of course, currency is, again, ties into my major and history. I love currency because of the value it carries and holds. Same with numismatics, but that just comes more so on the side of me liking it. But then again, you have to find the people that are willing to pay for those things. So that's why stacking kind of saved the collecting market in a way, and that's what a lot of people argue. So what else?
You hit something right in the nose. Like, I'm a collector and a flipper. I wouldn't say I'm a seller because I don't have a retail shop. I don't have a wholesale license.
Right. Same.
But me, I love my dragons. I think everybody knows if you have a dragon, I'll probably pay 2 or 3 times more than what it's valued. Just I like the stuff.
Exactly.
Very rare that I let something go. And if I do, it's it's a cool piece. I have a triple or maybe 4 or 5 of them. And the Silver Eagles, trying to get sets of these.
Oh yeah.
Stacking NYC, he was one of the first guys to come out with the TEP with AppMex, really cool. Big
Yes. Yeah, I remember, my first 2 years in the industry, his ASE with the hashtag Silver Degenerates, it's one of the first ones that I bought. I wasn't a huge fan with slab silver until I was able to understand like why it was a bigger deal to have graded coins versus non-graded. I was like, no, I want to hold it. Like, what do you mean? So I wasn't a huge fan of it, but so that is super cool. There's always opportunities in that realm. When Tommy, of course, has been in a lot longer. Steven's 4 years in, and he's doing very well for being 4 years in. So it's just kind of how where you want to take with your business and what side you want to be on. I started on the gaming side because I was in Vegas. That was the theme. And I created the roulette wheel game. So that was my thing is I wanted to, because when I came into the industry and I saw I never even knew about races until Instagram. And I was just like, God, that's so boring. So there was no excitement in it. And even on a live, like if you're, running a game and you're just showing a screen and it's a randomizer and a wheel, to me, I'm like, that's just boring. So that's when I created the games. And I don't like computerized stuff. So when I go to the casino and I gamble or whatever, and I would play tables only because I don't like slots or anything. I just don't care for it.
Hot hand in a dice game, huh?
What was that?
You got that hot hand in the dice game?
Yeah. Oh, I love craps. I just learned how to pick craps. And then poker, I'm pretty good at. I just top 7 in the Degenerate Pirates poker the other night. With
you are in that?
What was that?
How is that going so far?
It's good. I don't have a degenerate pirate per se. I'm not financially. I wasn't able to at the time. When I split for my 7-year relationship, we had everything together. So there's a lot of climbing out that I have to do, which is what why I kind of took on graphic design as a full time versus selling silver. I learned a lot coming back into the game alone because he was the number side and I was the graphics and the entertainment side. and creating the shows and building the shows and then creating games. I came up all kind of, we did Texas Hold'em. We've done Texas Hold'em, dice. I mean, so many, high card, roulette, just so many different things. There's so many more. I just can't think of it. Oh, we even did beer pong live. We put a coin under every cup. Obviously, you add all the coins together and then you divide by how many were spots. And we did Team John and Team Mercedes. And we played beer pong live.
That is cool. See, only you would think of stuff like that, and it's fun.
Yeah, I know, it was fun. I haven't been able to do it again because I don't have somebody in the industry. I do plan on doing it on Instagram one day with some of the accounts that are willing to do it and in Florida. So
it's one of those things too where you have to have the drive and the hustle. Like you can't do everything by yourself. You do need a partner.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say that's another thing that can be hard. Sitting in here and all day. I mean, you got to stand up. I just looked into one of those mechanical standing desks because it's important for. I was reading this article that it was important for graphic designers to have one that goes up and down because you can't. I mean, it's science too. Your body cannot physically sit in a chair all day for the amount of work that you need to do. So it's also why I bartend one day a week to get out and for my sanity. But we also sit on Discord. And that to me is also very good in this industry. We have people pop in there all the time and we're all video chatting and hanging out. And they are just there to learn off of us. And sometimes we're messing around and sometimes we spew our knowledge. And so yeah, and people like Benny Papers and talking about LLCs and how to even get started in this. And it's very cool and also awesome, the community that we do have to lean on. Then you don't necessarily have to pay for, those kind of services that you would if you didn't know the community.
It's so true. I wouldn't say, I've been doing this for about a year and I've had about 20 people on the podcast. Every single person has been willing to either help me or somebody else. That's one of the great things about, this group.
No, it is. And I've learned a lot since I've been on my own because I've had to. And there is so much more I have to learn. I can't tell you enough. It's just, a lot of people don't realize there's a side where like people don't buy the China coins. And there's a reason, some of their stuff doesn't even say it's made from China. And or they're trying to duplicate ASCs, things like that. So that's another thing when you're like starting and stacking. It's just you have to buy from reputable brands. That is extremely important. And then your high volume stuff, like this first strike type stuff, all of that, take into consideration if you want to be a stacking and collector or just straight stacking weight for numismatics. So that's what I would say.
I would probably tell people getting in the industry, go slow and enjoy it because once you start diving in, you're going to go freaking crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's true because there's just so much to learn. There's so much to know. And sometimes it can be defeating. It really can. The market, you can't control the market. You can't control what happens. And you're going to make mistakes. You're going to lose money. And it's just that's part of investing when you're investing in something that is fluctuated by the market. So,
talk about losing money. Me personally, I've never been a Libertad lover. I know that there are some people that are going to beat me in the head about this, but I literally used to give away Libertads. I had no idea. And some Morgans when I first started. I'm like,
I remember when they weren't they didn't carry the premiums. When I first started, they did not carry the premiums that they do now. It's kind of insane. And now I found, this is crazy. I went in Vegas, this old guy had a huge collection and he wanted to let some of them go. And I forgot to even grab it. It's over there in the other room, but it's a Cuban Libertad and I've never seen one before. And it's from 1933 and I'm Cuban and Dominican and then my mom is white, but it's Cuban. It's 90% silver, but still it's so cool. And it says literally Cuban Libertad and it's so freaking cool. But yeah, then, I think it was during COVID when Mexico announced like they were shutting down the production of Libertads and they skyrocketed. And I remember that like everybody was buying them out and instantly that was not true. And it was all a hoax or whatever. And it all went back down. So it's kind of crazy what can happen in like the news. And if you don't do your research and really know if that's a thing, I've had a lot of people lose out on that hoax in particular, just by it not being true. So
I would think too, you have to know the right people to talk to, but also the right people to listen to. You and I probably have a lot of the same people we would say, are influencers or that we would listen to. But if you listen to the wrong person, you are going to get burned.
Oh yeah, I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me.
So
being a girl in the industry, it's you have your friends. Yeah, you have your friends, and then you have people that just so that have other intentions.
That don't have your best interest at heart. Like,
Absolutely.
Here, I'm selling this. It's worth $500. Meanwhile, it's only worth $20. What are some of your favorite pieces? I'm a dragon lover. I love the dragons. But what do you like? What are you into?
Vintage. I'm huge into vintage. I specifically like. Hi, Jim. How are you? Engelhard. Currency. Huge into currency. Anything that was, back in the day. I have a book of currency, just currency solely, and then I have the big red book. Of course, I am a big reader. But so currency, anything constitutional. Again, totally my thing. Numismatics, Morgans, all of that is super cool to me.
If you're into, we're gonna put you right on the spot. It's test time, young lady. I don't know if you can see this yellow seal. What is this? Tell the people. Do you know?
That's a gold seal. $10 gold seal.
Gold seal. $10 gold seal.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, you put me on the spot.
Told you gonna have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, right.
So I found you mostly through Instagram. We swim in a lot of the same circles, but you also do some Facebook stuff as well.
I do.
I could give you a minute break, 'cause I have a Facebook ad that you posted too. I'm gonna pop up as well.
I did.
We're going through all your silver stuff. We're breaking down all your history. Let's do this.
Love it.
So that was for Stacking NYC, right?
Yes, the Silver Degenerates group. So I am an admin in there. I do help out solely because, Facebook is where I started. So I've built and have been an admin of around 5 groups. And I'm an admin of 2, 3. And then I have my own, which is private and it's not searchable. So it's exclusive. And that's solely the gaming group, It's how you have to be, and sometimes I've learned a lot in the industry. So yeah,
we don't let no outsiders on the block. Jim has a good question for you. What is your favorite drink?
My favorite
you or me?
Drink in like for bartending?
I don't know, Jim. You gotta clarify, Jim.
Okay, I would assume so. I am a gin drinker and a tequila drinker, definitely. That I would say that is my favorite. So margaritas, but it has to be like fresh lime juice. I'm bougie, but I'm a bartender, so I know the value of even though I hated doing it and squeezing all the limes and everything every morning, it definitely makes a difference. I will say that.
Would you ever be on the Bar Rescue show?
Honestly, I have opened 30 stores, 30 bars that I have gone to and trained bartenders and opened brand new store openings. My last one was in Birmingham, Alabama for walk-ons, and then I opened 2 bars on the Strip in Las Vegas right before I got into, during and right before I got into this industry. So I slowly but surely was able to pop out of the industry, and then when COVID hit, I completely got out of the industry for bar because it just changed the entire clientele out there. COVID really opened back up.
Jim said yes at the bar.
Yeah, at the bar. So yeah, I'm a gin and tonic, Hendrix specifically, and then I am a tequila drinker.
Jim's taking notes. I guarantee he's taking notes.
Margarita mainly.
Mainly.
I can't drink tequila on the rocks, but and then my new. Well, I hate whiskey. I hate whiskey, but I do like Screwball on the rocks. It tastes just like peanut butter.
Oh my god! I don't know if I'm just getting older. I just can't hang anymore. That stuff from. Oh my god, it killed me.
Yeah. Well, see, it's just at the bar that I work at, it's a huge line dancing club. and then upstairs it's hip hop, and it's called the Dallas Bowl. I actually have the shirt on, and it's been there for 40 years, so it's actually really cool. They had a writing bowl at one point, and then the lead singer of Alabama that sings "Sweet Home Alabama," he broke his ankle on the bull, and before that, somebody else got hurt, and the bull was gone. There was a lawsuit, and that's what happened.
Everyone's worried about liability. Look at Jim. Jim's a pervert.
Oh,
Tequila.
Yeah, I am different on tequila. I will say that I'm a little crazier, a little less shy of a dancer on tequila.
Whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Exactly. You know, you have to be my friend to hang out with me on tequila.
Gotta be able to hang.
It might happen in July. Yeah, July meetups. Are you going?
I'm planning to. Yeah,
Okay,
at Pennsylvania. You're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That'd be
I should
fun.
be. I should be if finances work out and stuff. But yeah, I should be. But I will be at the Long Beach Wine Show in a couple days, so I'm excited to do that. That'll be good to get out of this house and office.
So you've met a lot of people from the industry though as well, right? At a lot of the shows.
I have through the Vegas show because I lived there. So my first year there, I remember everybody knows me because I walked in with my 2 giant dogs. Walked in with my Great Dane Mastiff and my pit bull. Very well trained. They fly on planes. They're very good dogs. He now has my pit bull, and I have the Great Dane Mastiff. And that's when I met Haley Bug in Pitbullian, and I don't think Reckless was there that year. And then the second year, I was closer to before it was the Ford Corner. So that show, and I was a part of that group of friends when it became the Ford Corner. It became the Ford Corner at that Vegas show that year. It was the first time I met Steven. It was the first time I met Valley, and everyone else that went that year. Flipping Metals. There's a lot of people that were there. So
I think it probably was 2 years ago, and it was right before COVID hit. It screwed up like all my plans because that was my 40th birthday. I wanted to go to Vegas. You know, the flights got canceled. I missed out on that one.
How old are you?
I'll be 42 in September.
No way! I never would have guessed that.
I'm old, kid. I'm old. I'm older than a lot of people in this community. But I still look good.
You look like a baby. That's so crazy. Hey, you look good. You look good for 42. That's insane.
I get it all the time, and everybody gives me hell when I start to try to grow out my facial hair. It's like pepper flakes on the face. So.
Oh my god, favorite tequila, Jim. I will say I just found one that I drinks like water. I don't know. It's at Publix Liquors. It's called Tequila Ocho. I don't know if I'm sure it is elsewhere, but it's not like a name brand. I think Patron is overrated.
Definitely overrated.
So overrated. So, and Don Julio, not my favorite, but Tequila Ocho. It's like, oh my god, so smooth.
Gotta try that. I've never seen it. Oh, there was something too that Notorious posted up. I can't remember the name of it, but he said it's like impossible to find. The bottles are like $200 bottles.
Oh yeah.
I'll look it up on like the break and find it. Something Eagle.
Okay.
So where do you typically? So being in Vegas, I'm pretty sure you have tons of shops there. Do you strictly go to shops? Do you get online? Where are the sources that you typically purchase?
I actually don't buy from shops. I don't buy from AppMax. I don't buy from retailers. And we never did. So we just on Facebook, it's also a huge community that have been there for decades. And there are a ton of wholesale dealers there. So I have always bought through wholesale dealers, through Facebook and social media, because that's all I know, honestly. And so that's why when one of the questions, I'm like, oh God, all I have to say is social media. But it's true. I mean, there's huge groups and thousands of members. Some are in the 10s, 20s K groups, and there's all kinds of people on there, and at great price points, spot and everything. So. And then, of course, you have people like Steven and Tommy and everyone else that I buy through. So in Vegas, it was mainly the networking. that to me is very important when you go to shows and everything, is networking. So, which is why the community is what it is. It's the meetups and that, so you exchange knowledge and information, and you learn more and more every time you go. So yeah, I don't buy from coin store unless they have something that I absolutely want. Now, what I will say, we did search Vegas quite a few times. We would go there but they were just outrageous, and honestly didn't know a lot either, so I would question, like, why that price, and it wouldn't be an answer that was knowledgeable. So sometimes we would find killer deals, and other times it was going to older guys' houses that were collectors and needed to off some of their collection, and yeah, they thought we were young and dumb, and boy did we change their mind after the end of that meetup. So yeah,
Jim,
that
for
is
some
where I
reason,
was.
he thought you were in Florida. Nope, Jim.
Mm.
Wrong, sucker.
I am in Florida.
Right now?
I am in Florida now. So when me and him split, I had to move back home. I moved back into Mom's. I'm not in Mom's anymore, but I had to move back home because financially it was a battle, and yeah, we battled it out, and he took the stack, and I took the truck and the RV, and I went home. So I had to let go of my entire collection, which really sucked. It took me many years to build. It was well over $500,000 worth of stuff, but and we also got robbed when COVID hit. People started stealing our mail and finding out what kind of business we were in. Once they found that out, and then we went out of town, they smashed in the back window. So that's another important thing, to new stackers, is saves everything, and even then they'll take it like if they can. But yeah, they destroyed everything. They took a lot. We also knew that people were watching the house because of our mail being stolen consistently. So we took the majority of it. However, they still got in, and they still got a lot. So we lost a lot in that. And then of course I let the rest go. Just, piece-wise.
Bet you wish you were a judge to prosecute those cases.
Oh my God. Yeah. Because the craziest thing in Vegas is the coin shops. If somebody goes and we would go to the one right next to our house, and I would see our stack literally there. And you cannot do anything about it because it's against the law for them to tell you who they got it from. And we have no proof of, unless you have invoices over all the years, you have no proof. And at that point, they don't do anything. Especially in Vegas. Vegas, they have better things to worry about and bigger things to worry about. In the COVID era especially, a lot more crime started happening. 3 months of lockdown. Yeah, there's a lot of people in the streets. So
I mean, still, we're 2 years into it, if you want to, still say that.
We're talking about another one. Yeah. So we'll see.
Just people are falling on hard times, and listen, there's no excuse for it. Snap your fucking neck. Catch you on my block.
So it's very important PO box shipping for them. Yeah. So that is the thing. But why did I think I did move to Florida? Yeah. So it's important to lock up PO box, stuff like that, because now that I'm in Florida and we're in South Lakeland and Lakeland in general, it's a good area. It's in between Orlando and Tampa, so I don't have any issues like that. But yeah, when you live in big cities, oh yeah, that is one thing. That's a very easy thing for them to do, is take it to a coin shop, pawn it, instant money, and there is no way to get it back in a way. So it's funny, not to go like too off topic, but I did a lot of research with Chris and some people's shops in Long Island. We did a bunch of security tips and tricks and things that you should know and do, for coin shows. And I was surprised to learn the numbers of thefts at coin shows, not just of the products there, but just like you mentioned, in the hotel room, back at home. Oh yeah. Just the people that clean the rooms, everything like that, you have to be extremely careful. So, a lot of the guys that I go and work booths for, they have, big, it's good to invest in those big, lock safe type vault rolling, suitcases in a way. They're stackable. They're good because
walking in like secret squirrel,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In Vegas, I thought it was the craziest thing because they, of course you don't want to set up every day. So you do this at every show and it's cases and they're locked. But and initially I'm like, oh my God, I would be so nervous to leave all of it there. But then again, I did not know that until last year that security guards sit in there all night. So that's kind of cool. You have people that are on night shift sitting I mean, they're boring, but they're sitting there watching silver.
Actually, one of my main job is pretty much in that field, and we provide security services to a couple of places.
Okay.
Great pay,
cool.
Boring job, but somebody's got to be there to
Somebody
to watch
has
them.
To be there. No, yeah, in almost any industry. Yesterday, I had to, look at my security guard, give him the eye, and kick somebody out for me. So it's needed. I will say that. So yeah, well, that's good.
The bottle that I was thinking of, Eagle Rare. Eagle Rare.
Okay, yeah. Eagle Rare is pretty popular.
It's funny because it popped into my head because of Silver Eagles.
Oh yeah, no, it is. I will say I used to sell it a lot in Vegas. It's crazy how different the West Coast and the East Coast is in silver too. And the industry, it's very different because I went from West Coast to East Coast, and I can't believe how many people I don't know on the East Coast side of accounts that I never knew that were in the industry. It's like it's just crazy to me. So I was like secluded to like the West Coast side just because those were my friends and I didn't really know. I was new in Instagram, and then I met everybody else as soon as I moved over here, so it's kind of crazy.
I think, people kind of bounce around, but you're right. I think, if you live on the East Coast, you move, you kind of stay on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast, you bounce around, you stay on the West Coast.
Yeah. I won't don't say I wouldn't like to say that there's a divide, but there is. I mean, it's just different because we're on different time zones. So you're, when they're up and it's like 3 a.m. for us and it's 12 a.m. for them, and they're like, "Where are you at?" Say, I'm not on the West Coast anymore, guys. So that's another thing, that's been challenging is I don't hang out. I don't get to interact with my West Coast friends as much anymore. On lives and everything like that because it's the late night crew and everything that we used to do. I used to go on lives with Steven and Valley all the time before he was doing big bin lives and just playing games or just talking, and we would have 20-30 people just watching us talk in the middle of the night.
I always feel like I miss out on something big. Like I'm usually getting ready for work, so I'm in like 11:30 midnight. Done.
Yes.
And their parties are just getting started.
Yeah, exactly. So it has been challenging, I will say that, because a lot of people that I have started with and I'm still really close to, they're on the West Coast. But I have also met a lot of other friends too that I have some close ones here in Florida, and Matt Valvix, he's in Florida, so things like that. So Mini Papers in Florida. So it's cool. And TV Stacker, I forgot about him too. He's about 20-30 minutes away from me. So
have you done the fun show in Florida?
I have not. So right before I got back, so I took a year break after the separation, and never thought I was going to come back in this industry. I never did, because with everything that happened and being in social media and being on the spotlight, with live shows, it comes with that. It comes with everybody knowing your personal life or playing the game of telephone with your personal life. And I was just like, nope, I'm done. But I didn't let it defeat me. So that's another thing I would say is it can be hard and defeating sometimes, but I would never give up on it because it is a very valuable, community and friendships come out of that. And they keep me sane on video chats every day. I will say that. Sitting in here alone, it gets lonely.
Totally right. I mean, just on a daily basis, I always say it's funny because it's kind of like high school. Like, he said, she said. But I think it might be a little more intense, when it comes to relationships and, everybody's.
Yeah, when that's involved, it can be, absolutely.
Yo, what's up, Boxy, Jay-Z? What's up, Snow Zeus? Got all the people popping in.
I am going to Long Beach. Yeah, I am going. Hello. Oh. So I am there with MK specifically and Steven's booth.
Oh, cool.
I am working for them. So yeah.
Awesome. I actually just got something in from MK.
Did you?
I basically did the red, white, and blue Brooklyn bars. I do them for charity whenever I get them made up, and I have one of them made up. It's the Statue of Liberty,
I
like
know
the
what you're talking
copper,
about.
which toned. I can't part with it. I've literally I hid it away, but I have to do one for Tommy's charity, the Stackers essay contest.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, so I just recently, my newest partnership is with MK. And I run his business pages on Facebook. So I run the Silver Art Collector business page and then the MK Bars and Bullion page. Solely because he doesn't have the time. So here after Long Beach, I'll start posting content, and then of course, items, bin items and everything. Yeah. So I saw that when I was going through the page and learning. Pages are very different than groups on Facebook. So especially when they integrated Meta verse and everything like that into it, and the Meta Business Suite. Oh my God, it's like Chinese. A lot to learn when it comes to that. I'm more well versed in groups. So, but yeah, that is my newest endeavor, and I'm excited. So yeah.
So I didn't know that you were part of that group as well. So you get to see all the cool stuff before it ships out of his shop, then, huh?
Yeah, because I have to create content.
Indeed.
So it's fairly new. I would say it was only maybe 2-3 weeks ago when we had our first phone conversation about actually doing this. And yeah, ever since I've done a live and I've sold, I'll sell his stuff. I'll tell him, I'll invoice it all. He makes it and he ships it out. And then other than that, it's just content creation. So yeah.
Awesome. Jay-Z, what's up, man? Boxy. What's going on? Everybody's in there. Boxy's a technical kind of guy. He's got some really good questions. Do you mostly do web page and digital management, or do you also do business management?
So what I want to, I guess, know more so what you mean, like business management as in like the business side of Silver. So yeah, I mainly have been like content creation and graphic design for Silver accounts because, of course, I started in the Silver industry, was not able to, with it being such a capital intensive business, I learned very hard, and I had to be like, okay, you can't do this while you're trying to pull out of all the debt that I am in now, with separation of my last relationship. So that's why I took on, and offering services more so they came to me, and at that point, I'm like, I don't even know what to charge because I've never, but I have only done content creation and managing business pages on Facebook and social, media, because a lot of us are not in the same state. So, the other day I sat with Tommy's Kristen, and I walked them through like inventory management systems and building Excel sheets and stuff like that, because GoDaddy is now letting go of their inventory management service. So I used QuickBooks when I had tons of inventory and that much to track for the business with the LLC that we had. And then I showed them more affordable ways, because, in the industry, you only need to track certain things, and QuickBooks wants you to pay this much and you get all of these things that you don't need just to get that one thing that you needed. So I was like, there's so many ways we can combat that, and still, because GoDaddy was cheap and it did everything he needed. So like batch emailing and stuff like that. So that is another thing that I guess I could say I advise on.
That's a lot of work too.
It is. Oh my God. It is. So building templates and just doing, formulas and all of that. Sometimes it'll take me a whole day to create a certain template because of just how complex formulas are. What's your favorite metals to collect, y'all? I'm vintage. I am strictly Newsmac, vintage, Engelhard, just because I'm fascinated with the history behind everything.
Mm-hmm. So Boxy, yeah.
So yes, that is Boxy. That is where I became valuable, I guess, in the partnership that I used to have. I could not stand the unorganized side of a lot of you in the industry, but mainly it was my ex. And then Tommy was showing me things the other day, and I'm like, oh my God! So yes, fast tracked to sorry, I need to shut my door. My boyfriend just got home. But fast track to I started scanning. So you create your own barcode system, and you put the barcodes on a certain product, and then if say you have like 10 or 20 of the same product, you would scan it in, and it scans into your inventory system, and it logs everything for you. But that takes time to set up. It takes knowledge to set it up. So that's kind of how I fast tracked the process, was building that
Cool.
system. So I have like scanners and stuff, and I told Tommy in July if we'll figure out a system that works for him. So yeah.
Cool.
I
So one
have-
of the other videos I wanted to show that you did, give you a minute or two because I know you got to go run and close your door. We'll take a quick peek at this one. Give you a minute to go do your
Thank
thing.
you.
Yeah, no
I
problem.
appreciate it.
Awesome with the digital designs, and a lot of people sometimes don't know how much time and effort it takes to create that stuff. So folks, we've got
Yes.
Mercedes here. Ask questions. She's not only into silver, she's into graphic designs. Puts up a lot of really good content, which you can use in the future for your businesses as well. Doesn't have to be just silver. She does it all.
Yeah, no, I've kind of like I do a lot of things. More recently, my newest skill is die cut stickers. Jim has literally forced me into learning that, and I'm so thankful for it. It took me forever. And I felt so bad him being the first, type, because I created the logo and I didn't think about how it would turn out when the print shop needed to cut it out, because it's a paint effect. I think you have it. And when I went to remove the background, it like took out some of the logo. I'm like, oh my God. So there's, of course, a way. I have over 40 Adobe apps, and Adobe Illustrative is what I use to create the type and file format that you need to send to a print shop. Otherwise, you're going to pay extra for a company to do that for you, like a sticker company.
It's funny, 'cause I think we've all got our stickers, and I am notorious. I do not want to deviate away from circles or the old.
Oh yeah, I have a whole board. I'm creating a table. That sticker you have in your hand is on my table that I started, of everybody's stickers in the community. So yeah, I was determined to get that logo fixed so that it could be cut as a die cut.
Yeah, I think but I think everybody who collects is a collector of multiple things. So besides coins, what else do you collect?
Besides coins? Oh my, what currency? Are you talking about outside the industry?
Yeah, just in general.
I don't have anything else. No, I'm literally like, I've immersed myself in this industry because it's what I like. I wasn't ever really a collector, but again, I was a bartender trainer for years, and I don't even like alcohol really that much. So I think I drank myself out in college when I went to Clemson University. Oh my God. Yeah, there's just a lot of drinking in that atmosphere. And when I graduated, I ended up graduating at Florida Gulf Coast University. I had to move back for family reasons. And I just, so I wasn't ever like a collector really until I saw, I got into this industry. And it just tied in with everything I loved with my political science degree and bachelor's degree. So that's where the collection started.
So what, you're into a lot, but what gets you up in the morning? Like, what gets you inspired? And it's funny because it just seems like such a cliche kind of question, but
I know,
when you
that
stop and
question
think
was
about
like, oh my God, when you told me that, I was like, man, I don't know. But honestly, it's just becoming a better me, I guess I would say, because again, I've always wanted to be not the best in the industry when it came to live shows. So that's where I created the live show that I do now, which is graphics on screen. Everything's there. And everything is hotkeys. You're switching cameras. You're putting up graphics. You're putting the applause where someone wins or buys something. And then even at some point we have like Yeti noises just because the people requested it. To mess around with some of my friends, I would boo them. And so it was my way of coming up and being different. So every day I'm learning something new, to be different. So when I started creating logos, I'm like, God, how am I going to stand out? Like, there's already people that do it. How am I going to stand out? And that's where I started doing just by hand illustrative type. and die cut type where it's, paint effects or, anything that they request, of course. Most of what I've gotten is just a picture, and I don't know what I want, but create something, and I'm like, oh my god. When it comes to something as indecisive as me, I'm like, that is so stressful. But I
totally
do.
Me.
And I never considered myself a creative person. Again, I was going to go to law school. We're not really creative people. We're very practical, and literal. I don't understand jokes, I will tell you that, because I'm like, what? I'm a very literal type person. So when I started creating things, I'm like, I never expected to have a creative side. So I do have inspirations, and I do have to look up things and ask Jim. I must have created a different logo like 80 times. What about this one? What about this one? What about that one?
He's got some cool stuff, though. I'm guessing that's done by you. I didn't know that until now.
The Paint Effects logo, that one is done by me. That is the first one that I've done for Jim, though.
Yeah, that's fucking sweet. I'm probably gonna have to bug you now because I'm gonna want something like dragon related, just kind of like a
Let's
a
go.
third sticker.
Let's do it.
So I know you're into graphic design and webcasting and all that. I picked this up thinking, oh, I can learn this in like 5 minutes.
Oh my god! That's my kryptonite. I can tell you how to literally use that in 30 minutes to an hour. It's amazing. You'll love it. It makes your life. That's exactly how I camera switch. It's exactly how I do everything I do. It's somewhere. I put it away. Oh, it's right here. And the other thing is like people that are needing stuff like this for shows, there's one that is huge, so big. You don't need that one. It's expensive. They don't tell you that this comes with unlimited pages. Mm-hmm. And you can set up with as many pages as you want and just click over to that page. So unless you want all the buttons, you don't necessarily have to have that. So a Stream Deck, lifesaver. There is so many things you can do with this on so many platforms. There's Discord, there's YouTube, there's literally every platform is integrated with this. And it saved my life, I will say. My last stream, I couldn't use it, and I swear I didn't know what I was doing because I didn't have it.
Well, it's funny because the people don't know, but we'll tell them now. Like before you logged in, you were having problems getting on Restream. I only know Restream. I don't really know any of the other setup.
So
but I can't get this.
I started on Restream. I realized how ineffective the service is when it came to needing multiple cameras, which I use multiple cameras because I have always been very big on talking to you guys as if you're people, so being on screen and showing what I need to show and switching to my roulette wheel and doing everything that I needed to do with Dice Tower, the cards, just everything. You can't do that on Restream. So OBS, I'm now learning because I have a Windows. But I used to use Ecamm for Mac.
You can use multiple cameras, but it's a pain in the neck to set up because you have to have multiple.
No, I know. It's just not easy, especially when when I first started with Restream, I didn't necessarily need all of that. But then as time went on in creating a show that was different and whatever, I switched. And Ecamm became the number one thing that I used because I had a Mac. Now I'm on to OBS, which is a lot more complicated. However, there's endless animations creations that you can do on OBS that you just can't do with anything else. So yeah, it just depends on like what you need and what you need it for in your budget per se, price wise.
I definitely need to learn that system. I'm like a student. I just can't grasp that for some reason.
Yeah, no, it is hard. I will say I have been doing it for 3-4 years now. And I am so embarrassed to even look back at some of the shows I used to do. And it was through StreamYard and Restream. Those are the first two that I ever used, the easiest two, I will say that. So if like you are starting shows, then yeah, go with those. The rest become complicated. However, Ecamm, I will say, is so simple. It's stupid easy if you have a Mac to do and use. And it still comes with learning. But the things you can do on those sites are endless, or softwares are endless. So
I think that's the thing. People have to just try. Just give it a shot. Go. If it's bad, who cares? You do another one next week. Just
exactly.
Get into it.
Yeah. Listen, the worst show I've ever had, and I've been doing this for so long, was just last week. Let me tell you, when my Mac would not charge, because I was just learning OBS, I just got my gaming computer, and then of course it had to be sent back because it was running like an airplane. It was the loudest pre-built every gamer on YouTube had said to be owned. And it was a great computer, but it had one faulty problem, which was the fan. So if you take it out, put it into a bigger case, and either get a water cooling system or more fans, it's the best computer ever. And it was on sale for $1,500. So it technically, with the upgrades of to $400, it's a $2,800 computer. I don't know this because I don't know anything about this kind of stuff. And you've learned, let me tell you, I sent it back and I got all of the upgrades. And that night I was supposed to go live. My Mac decides it doesn't want to charge. I don't know why. It was crazy. I had just rebought the Ecamm subscription, not thinking I would use it again because I had this. My Mac goes down. I'm like, oh my God. I go and buy Restream. Restream froze on me 5 minutes into the stream. I'm in the background. My admins are on there trying to entertain and do the show. And I'm in the background trying to fix the entire show. And then make everybody hop back over to a different stream because my Mac decides to work again with the same freaking charger. And so at this point, no graphics were uploaded, nothing was done. And I'm manually doing everything. I sort of, at the end of that show, I'm like, oh my God. Like, I just laid down in bed. I'm like, what just happened? But I did it. So what I will say is, like, you're going to fail. Don't give up. 4 years into streaming, and that whole mess happened to me, and I was so embarrassed, but like I just held my own and kept going. And you know, everything that I do and the sounds and the camera switch, I was doing it all manually. It was so hard. So
I not laughing, but I did get a kick out of watching the story play out with your Best Buy service at the Geek Squad. It sounded like you're gonna punch one of those guys right in the fucking throat.
Oh, I was so close. You have no idea. I ripped that computer so quick from them. And so another thing I would say is to private people, go to the private guys, go to the small guys. They know what they're doing. They don't hire whoever. And right now there is a shortage in people that know what they're doing in the tech side of computers, especially for Best Buy. I can't imagine that they pay that great, you know. And they're hiring kids that don't have a lot of experience. So, what advice do you have for someone wanting to make the move from the hobby?
Foxy's got a good question. And I think we should get a roulette game going. Folks, what do you think? We're going to start throwing roulette right now?
Yeah. So, advice for somebody wanting to make a move from a hobby artist to a small business. So, yeah, are you talking more so like artists as in graphic design and like creation and content? I started by simply Canva. Oh my God, huge. For beginners, I still use it to this day. Canva is amazing. It literally there's templates and you're using templates, but there's nothing wrong with that because when you're using these templates, you have the ability to make it and design it into your own. And not only that, it teaches you to become more creative by using those templates. So, and there's so many, I'm a part of the Canva design group on Facebook, and there's thousands of members in there with knowledge and power and information that you learn from. They have every video ever is on YouTube on how to do things. And that's exactly where I started. I just now, within the last 2 months, have been diving into the more professional graphic design apps like Adobe Creative. So I still use Canva a lot. So, but now that I'm diving into more complex designs, yes, I'm using Adobe. Adobe Express is very similar to Canva. I have not messed around enough to see if it's as good as Canva. But it's more so sitting down and taking the time to learn the other apps. Envato Elements is a great subscription to have. Now, there's a lot of knowledge that comes in the file types, though, with Envato Elements. When I first downloaded it, I had no idea what it was doing. No idea. And then I'm like, why won't this file open? I don't understand. Because there's a lot of knowledge in the file types. So when you're on Envato Elements, there's a spot where it's like web designs. And that's the one you want if you're trying to like open it in Canva. A lot of my audio that I can upload into Canva, my own designs, my own templates that Canva doesn't have, I got from Envato Elements, but it has to be a format that Canva takes. Otherwise, it'll upload, the second you try to open the file, it'll open Adobe Illustrative or the apps that it works for. So again, it's just more so what you're trying to scale to and what kind of content creation you're trying to scale to. But Canva's endless. Like they literally have upgraded that app to do video. I mean, everything. You can do almost like vector designs. A lot of people don't know that. They just upgraded it to and put a class out on that to do vector designs and illustrations. But when it comes to, and even Adobe, you know, it's really hard to learn, but all I do is watch YouTube videos and learn, or watch the person and do it with them, you know.
I want to make sure I understood that. Canva put out a tutorial video for that? I gotta check
Oh, yeah.
it.
There's tutorial videos on almost every single thing you can do in Canva, period. There just is. And then I would join the group on Facebook. They drop a lot of information there. And a bunch of people answer questions, and you can talk back and forth to the community. But a lot of my 3D animations are made through Canva. When I first started, you have to learn the app, and it's almost endless. So I wouldn't say that if you're like a beginner, you know, to dive into like I did right away. I bought all the Adobe apps, and then I gave up on them because I wasn't producing things because it's going to take me so much time to learn, and that is what I'm doing now, and I still have a lot to learn with those apps. But you can do a lot in Canva that a lot of people don't realize, you know, because that's when I started making stuff for Steven SBL. You know, he uses Canva, but he couldn't believe some of the things that I was making through Canva. So I'm more than welcome, or anybody is more than welcome to sit with me on Discord or whatever. I'll screen share and while I'm designing, and you can sit there and watch. Like, I don't care. And I'll talk back and forth. That's how I am. And that's a lot of where my experience came was with Canva. And PixArt is my newest favorite. PixArt is how I was able to create the paint effect, and then I put it over to Adobe Illustrative for Selfless Gems logo. So PixArt's a great one. It's another one that's very easy. It's user-friendly for beginners.
Yeah, I got it too. Yeah.
Let's go. So that is another one that I found. There's so many out there, but those two are definitely the best for beginners. And then I post it, and all I had to do was share. You know, Jim's logo has generated 5 logos in the queue for me. So sharing everything and promoting your work on social media, regardless if you think it's good or not, other people are going to. I can't tell you how many times that I didn't post something, and then like a friend would be like, "What is wrong with you? That's great." Feedback is good or bad is literally power. You know, knowledge is power. So yeah,
absolutely. I picked up PixArt, and I just wanted to like crop out pictures of me, and just make them like a PNG. Just to futz around with adding them to Canva, because Canva to me was like the easiest thing to learn.
Oh yeah. Canva's God. Like and when you're starting out, it teaches you a lot. And it's literally how I know and create a lot of my designs in the beginning. So now I'm starting to get more into, I just got a drawing tablet that is more so for actual sketches and like designing and stuff. And then, so that's different. Okay, that's fine.
Just me?
Hold on 1 second. But anyways,
now you gotta bring them. Now you gotta bring them in and say hello.
I have to bring them.
Now you gotta bring them and make them say hello.
Babe, come on. Put a shirt on, please.
Oh, look at it. Hey, this is not a rated R kind of show, you two. Now you gotta. Oh my God, that was funny. But he wants to watch the Lightning game. We're in Lakeland, so hockey is big because of Tampa Bay Lightning. This is CMac. Let me move this. The camera's down here, though.
Oh wow.
He's gonna hate. He's gonna hate me because I'm a Rangers fan.
Oh, hold on. I gotta move the
No, I'm not that big into hockey. Not like that. But it's a playoff Stanley Cup, so I mean.
Let me put this up here.
They've been what, do or die the past 3 games basically.
Okay, but yeah. So Sorry.
I'll just take a knee.
There you go. Yeah, take
Take
a
a
knee.
knee.
I'm short. This is my. Oh
Oh, look at
Sorry.
this. They're fighting
This
in
is
there.
terrible.
They're throwing picks
I'm
at each
short,
other.
so I have it set up to where it's eye level with me. He's tall, so. But this
Cool.
is Mike. This is
Hi, buddy.
yeah, and this
So-
is Charlie, CMac. So we're doing
That's
an
up.
interview.
CMac, I got you.
But yeah. So you're going to Berlin's right now.
Well,
I'll meet you there.
I can wait on you.
Okay, I'll meet you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Till I'm done. All right. But anyways,
So, last
All right.
question. What is other passion projects you got going on? What are the services you provide? We'll get to that. I'm going to show the last video that you shared. I thought this was pretty cool because you also do a lot of stuff with Whatnot now as well, right?
yeah, I did my first live there, and then I create like previews and advertisements because they're like Chomp. And Nicholas is his name, but Chomp OZ on Instagram he works for Whatnot. So everybody that he brings on board and that does shows, they give referrals, and payback for that because the coins and money category is brand new. So the app is very established and it's, has a huge following in many categories. And I thought it was super interesting, and it was very the way that it's instant payment, so you're not worrying about invoices and waiting days, or not only that. So a lot of people, the fees on there, they argue about the fees and it being worth it. To me, and being in the industry and doing live shows for so long, it is worth it in my opinion, because it's 11%. So yes, there's a 3% for the credit card fees, but if you think about it, when you're cashing out PayPal and you're cashing out Cash App and all of that, everything that they take, it adds up. Shipping charges add up. They handle all payments and all shipping charges, or all shipping labels. All you have to do is hit them. It has literally streamlined the process for us as sellers. It's amazing. It's why a lot of, Steven and a lot of the bigger guys have gone over there, because it takes out so much time that you could be doing something else to better the business. So yeah, I do.
Cool.
I create stuff for Whatnot.
Awesome. Let's check out that video and show the people real quick.
What's up, guys? Steven here with Steven's Best Loot.
That's not all he got for that 500. For those coming in, he is getting all of this. 14 ounces of silver and 10 ounces of copper.
Ah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful layout. Awesome ending. Love the graphics on that. That's so cool.
Thank you. Believe it or not, that was also mainly made in Canva. So it's just, there's so many things that a lot of people don't know that you can do, and it's just understanding like layers and with audio and lining them up. And again, I'm more than willing to one day sit and share my screen and help you all out. I really am.
Awesome. So now we got a date we can set up, because we can share the screen here too. I'm in.
Yeah.
I want to learn. I definitely
Absolutely.
step my game up for that.
Yeah, absolutely. It will streamline the process for all of you that want to, because I've already done the work of watching hours and hours and hours of YouTube to know how to do those things. So I'm more than willing. We're a community, and people have taught me a lot, and I'm willing to give back. So of course.
So, Sadie, I'm not sure, if but normally at the end of all my episodes, I like to kind of close it out. I do a rapid fire Q&A. I got a couple of questions lined up. I didn't share these with you, so now it's kind of like your first action. So, I got a couple of questions. I'm just going to rattle them off. You tell me what comes to mind of the first thing.
Okay.
All right. Bad haircut, what is worse? Bad haircut or bad hair dye job?
Ooh.
Tough one.
Bad haircut. No, yeah, bad haircut, because you can't go back. You can't. Your color, you can get it fixed. My sister's a hairstylist. It can be corrected. Anything, even a bad hair dye at home, box dye.
What's more annoying, people who say misquoted movie quotes or mistaken music lyrics? Who do you want to punch in the face more?
Say mistaken lyrics, maybe, but yeah, I think so. Mistaken lyrics, because movie quotes, I don't ever, lyrics, you can, there's a rhyme to it, you can remember it. I don't really, memorize movie quotes. He does. I can't. I don't understand it. Like, him and his friends are always like quoting off movie quote. I'm like, what? You don't know where that's from? Like, no, I don't. Like, I'm not studying the movie.
Totally a guy thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is.
Okay, what's a worst spot to be in? You owe someone money or you owe someone a favor?
In my opinion, money.
Really?
Well, I don't know. I mean, what do you mean a favor? A favor, I mean, that's just, a verbal agreement. Money is, financials. To me, it's more important than a favor, in my opinion.
Okay.
That's just how I don't know. I guess the context I would need more.
Depends on the favor. Guacamole
Depends
or
on the favor.
salsa?
Yeah. What was that?
What's better, guacamole or salsa?
Guacamole all the way. Avocado is a staple, and it is extremely important for your nutrition. I eat an avocado every single day, every morning. I mean, we were literally talking about this the other day, that we're going to buy a tree that's like ready to go for avocados, because I mean, the amount of money we spend on avocados is insane. But yeah, absolutely. I love both, but guacamole.
Okay. Prefer to hang out in a group or prefer to hang out one-on-one?
I'm a people person, so group, I would say. I like to. I'm an entertainer, so I like to have fun, and in a group is more fun than I think everyone.
Cool. Okay. What's more fun, talking to pets or talking to babies?
Pets all the way. I'm a huge pet person. I have a dog. I talk to him like he's a human. Apollo, come here. And come here. My boyfriend probably thinks I'm crazy, and he was like, you're closer to my cat. I'm like, well, he hangs out with me all day, and I talk to him, like, he answers back, and he knows what I'm saying. So it's just, to me, it's fun. Yeah. I don't have kids. I do have a nephew and a niece, 2 nieces, and it's, not having kids and not understanding and not being a mom. Yeah, definitely pets.
It's just more fun to practice.
Yeah, I understand them more.
What's more fun, silly hats or silly socks?
Silly hats. Silly hats. I would say socks, because I have socks that have my dog's face on them. Do you remember that company that came out with all the socks that you could put your dog's face on them, or anything on them? But I put my dog's face on them.
Oh, it's so cool.
But I like hats too, so that's a hard one.
Okay. Which is more annoying, loud neighbors or nosy neighbors?
Ooh, nosy.
I know. Yeah.
Nosy neighbors, like, Karens and stuff, or, I've been seeing crazy videos too on TikTok, especially of just people that have no right to do the things that they're doing, or setting up cameras that are pointing straight into the backyard of these people's home, and they would block it, and he would move the camera. Just crazy. So yeah, nosy neighbors for sure.
Jim's gonna add his. And folks, if you got any questions, let us know. We're coming to the close of this episode. Jim wants to know, what's worse, bad breath or body odor? That's a funky one.
Bad breath, I would say. Body odor can be washed off and fixed. Bad breath, it goes for too long. It's hard to fix.
Bad body odor, you could kind of talk at a distance. Bad breath, like, yo, back the.
No, yeah, it's a different kind of odor that it's worse. It's way worse than body odor. Everybody has body odor. Everybody sweats. And yeah, I would say
summertime
that.
too. Yeah.
It's important.
Think what we're saying, folks. Brush your teeth and wash your ass.
That's great.
Awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Mercedes, thank you so much for dropping a lot of knowledge. Great topic.
Thanks for having me. I had so much fun. I appreciate it. And of course, I'm here for the community. So if y'all ever need anything, and I am more than willing to help you out and share my screen, and show you everything I know about Canva, because I'm pretty much an expert at it now. So it's a lot of where I started, and it's gotten me where I am today. So don't give up on it. You can do so much that you don't even know on that app. So
You know,
yeah.
I didn't know you were involved in so many other pages along on Facebook. I'm probably gonna bug you later on, during the week now too.
I am. It's just it's my craft. It's what I honed in on, and people needed my help, and I, of course, am more than willing. So yeah.
I think there's so many people who, do the stuff as a craft and as a monetized hobby, but who kind of want to push the route to a small business. And, I'm just great to have someone like
Absolutely.
you on here to help out and share that knowledge.
Absolutely. No, it's true. I mean, social media is everything for business. It is literally key to having a successful one, at least. So yeah, content creation, a lot of it can be done, and you don't have to spend the money on people like me. So I'm willing to teach y'all that, especially when it comes to apps like Canva. Adobe Illustrator and all the Adobe apps is a completely different story. That is something that is worth learning or paying a service to learn if you're curious about graphic design and doing that kind of thing one day. But Canva, oh yeah, to streamline the process, let's do it.
Awesome, folks. Mercedes, once again, thank you very much. I'm going to close this one out, folks.
Yeah,
Spread
thank
love.
you.
It's the Brooklyn
All right.
way. Peace.
Have a good night, everyone. Bye.